Welcome to Mild City Moto. Today I'm breaking down the Motoz Tractionator Adventure tire, the rear tire that I have over 6,500 miles on. Is it the best adventure tire on the market? Stick around and find out. So yeah, seriously, I have over 6,500 miles on these tires. I'm going to be able to easily get 7,000 miles out of these tires. It's only the rear because I only have experience with the rear. I didn't ever run the front tire. And I never rode this in rain, so I can't testify to how it feels in the rain. I'm gonna get 7,000 miles on a knobby adventure tire. That's pretty damn sweet, but I'm gonna break it down. And first, I feel like I gotta do a disclaimer every time I do a tire video. Like, tires are very subjective. You know, people's opinions and goals and expectations out of tires are very different. So what I like, the next guy might not like. Also, there's just so many variables to it, right? There's weight, temperature, riding style, just tons and tons of stuff that affect how the tire does. So it's very subjective. So this is just my opinion with my experience with the rear Motoz Tractionator Adventure tire. So let's look at the tire. That's right, I said I had over 6,500 miles on this rear tire. And I don't know if you can see, but right here is the tire wear indicator, and there's still half an inch, over a centimeter there. This is basically a tubeless tire, or non-tube. It's not the motorcycle tubeless system. It just doesn't have a tube in it, which is pretty nice. They say this is a 75 off-road, 25 on-road. I am far from a 75-25. I'm more like a 60 on-road, 40 off-road. And like, this tire is awesome. And it's got this block pattern on it. The block pattern is supposed to like self-sharpen throughout the life of the tire. And I would say that it does. That's what they claim, and like, it does. Because these blocks are very, like, they don't get rounded, and they do have a sharp edge on them all the time as it wears. And the block pattern also gives it a larger footprint, so it has more grip, like in mud and sand, and I would agree with that. It felt really good in deeper stuff, thicker stuff. I've never been in mud with it, but with sand and pea gravel and stuff, the thicker stuff, it has traction. They also say it's a stronger construction than the average adventure tire, and I would agree with that. I'm gonna get 7,000 miles out of this rear tire. And when you compare that to other tires, that's like, for a knobby, that's hella mileage. So I would say, yeah, their tire is a stronger construction than most average adventure tires. And they say it has a high resistance to punctures. I didn't get any, so I would agree with it. A lot of the things that Motoz is claiming on their advertisement, like, I found to be true in their performance of this tire. Now let's talk about pros and cons. I'll start with the good stuff. The first one is it's got excellent mileage, right? Almost 7,000. I've never had a knobby get over 4. Some of them are 3. The grip off-road is excellent. Lateral grip, everything, just all around, and thick stuff, regular stuff. The tread wear, I say, is pretty good. Like, the blocks do stay pretty squared off. They don't get rounded or chip off, or the knob always has like a great fresh edge on it. It's got pretty good grip for on the road. It really does. It's got fairly decent grip on the road. Now let's get into cons. What's the cons of this? Well, it's a knobby, so on the highway it's gonna make more noise than a street. But I would say for a knobby, it's quiet. It's not really that loud. I wouldn't say it's loud at all, but it's just a little bit louder than a street tire. It's certainly not the loudest tire I've had. And like, I think if you buy a knobby on the road, you expect some noise. Yeah, and then the other con is, like, if you're leaning way over, it doesn't have the best grip like a street tire on the street on these outside edges. But I think that's a given with any knobby, right? I just don't lean my bike way over. When I go into a turn, I lean my bike in, but I keep my body weight straight up and down. I ride on the street like I do off-road, the same style. And on a knobby, I don't think you want to push that kind of performance. Okay, and then another con is like the blocks stay really well, but it does get some splits in it. Let me see if I can show you one. Like you can see here, there's a split in it right there. There's a split right there. So you can see some splits in it, really small ones. And that's gonna scare people off, right? They're like, oh, it's splitting, that's junk, it's crap. Like I didn't have any problems with it. And like I ride on the street like a jackass. I'm tearing up these knobbies for sure, but it never really tore them up. It just put some splits, small splits on it. And I guess another con is like the price. The price depends on different sizes, but it's around $200. It's around, you know, your average higher end adventure tires. So what's the conclusion? Well, it's a 75 off-road, 25 on-road. But I think this tire is good for anybody doing 50-50 or like me, 60-40. I'm 60 on-road, 40 off-road if I'm lucky. And I would buy this tire to run again, for sure. I was happy with the performance. It gave me good performance, gave me good grip, gave me excellent grip off-road, and it gave me good grip on-road. It's long lasting. I'm over 6,500 plus miles for me right now. I've done several trips with it, and it's totally met my expectations. I think it's a good tire, and I'm probably going to buy another one because even if I don't do as much off-road, because 7,000 miles out of a knobby is like, and usually to get something like that, you think you're going to lose a lot of performance. I didn't lose a lot of performance. That's usually the trade-off. For good wear, you lose performance. This wasn't the case. You know, I highly recommend this tire. I know some people won't agree with that, and I know some people won't like the splitting, you know, that you see on it around the knobbies, but it's holding there for me, and it's still going. Let me talk about the front a little bit. It's a TKC 80. I put it on the same time as the rear, so it's got over 6,500, almost 7,000 miles on it. It's kind of wearing and cupping, and it's wearing unevenly. Like some are way more than others, and because I'm not going to go too in depth about it, because a lot of people are familiar with this tire and its shortcomings and all that. I like the way it performed off-road. It always had grip. It was never pushing on me, and like it was just there. It had lateral grip, even like riding on stuff that was inclined, and it did everything I asked it to off-road. On-road, it kind of like, I just didn't care for it. It would give this bike head shake at like 85, 90 miles an hour. It didn't head shake all the time. It's just, you know, it was more prone to head shake. I think that's just because it's a knobby and the way this KTM 790 is. I would kind of prefer maybe a tire that doesn't give me so much off-road but is better on-road. Probably go to something else. I don't know what I'm going to put on next. I'm going to run these out. I'm going to run that rear out. I hope you liked the video. I hope there's some information there that people can use. I know tires are very subjective and so many variables, but that's my experience with the Motoz Tractionator Adventure tire. It's a good tire. It's a good tire. It's a damn good tire. Yeah, I hope you liked the video. Appreciate everybody watching, all the support. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe now. And comment down below if you got any questions. I'll try to answer them. But it's a good tire. Motoz Tractionator Adventure. I'll see you guys on the next one. Appreciate you.